budget looms, Poilievre urges Carney to cut young Canadians a break. Hey Canada, buckle up because we're about to talk about sacrifice. And no, not the kind where you skip your morning latte to save for retirement. We're talking about the kind where an entire generation gets told to sacrifice more after a decade of already getting absolutely wrecked. I'm talking rent prices that make you cry, job markets that ghost you harder than your Tinder matches, and now, the government wants you to be patient. Scheer. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Canada Bulletin, where we break down the news that actually matters to your wallet, your future, and your sanity. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button because we're about to roast some political decisions like a Thanksgiving turkey. Today's topic? Pierre Poilievre just told Mark Carney to give young Canadians a break. And honestly, it's about time someone said it out loud. So here's what went down. All right, picture this. It's Wednesday evening in Ottawa. University students are gathered, probably hoping for some good news, maybe a glimmer of hope about their futures. Enter Mark Carney, Canada's new Prime Minister, ready to deliver what I can only describe as a motivational speech. And by motivational, I mean he basically said, hey kids, life's going to be rough for a while. Buckle up for some sacrifice and time. Time and sacrifice? Sir, this generation has been marinating in sacrifice like a slow-cooked brisket for 10 years. Fast forward to Thursday morning. Pierre Poilievre, opposition leader and professional Liberal policy critic, holds a press conference in the House of Commons. And let me tell you, he didn't hold back. He essentially said what every young Canadian has been screaming into the void. Mr. Carney, the kids have sacrificed enough. Now, before we pick sides like it's a schoolyard dodgeball game, let's break down what actually happened and why this matters to you, whether you're 22 and drowning in student debt or 30 and still living in your parents' basement. Not by choice, by necessity. Let's talk about Carney's speech first. So Mark Carney stood in front of a room full of students and said his government's plan to transform the economy. Details coming in next month's budget. Stay tuned. Won't be easy. His exact words? It will take some sacrifices and it will take some time. He also said Canada's goal isn't just to do reasonably well, but to grow stronger than the rest of the G7. Bold. Ambitious. I love the energy. But here's the thing. When you're telling a generation that's already been financially curb-stomped for a decade that they need to sacrifice more, the optics aren't great, Mark. He promised to cut waste, drive efficiency, and be thoughtful, transparent, and fair when making difficult decisions. He even urged Canadians to look out for each other during tough times. Which, okay, sounds nice on paper. Very kumbaya. Very we're all in this together. But let's be real. Young Canadians have been looking out for each other. They've been splitting rent 4 ways in a 2-bedroom apartment. They've been taking gig jobs with no benefits. They've been delaying marriage, kids, homeownership. You know, those basic life milestones because the system has absolutely failed them. So when Carney says sacrifice, what young people hear is, keep suffering while we figure this out. Not exactly a winning message. Enter Pierre Poilievre with the receipts. Now, Poilievre watched Carney's speech with what he described as great interest. Translation, he was taking notes. And boy, did he come prepared. At his press conference, Poilievre credited Carney for being honest about how much worse life is for young people today compared to previous generations. He said, I give Mr. Carney credit for being honest with young people. He went on at length about how much worse life is for today's youth than it was when he was young, and he's right about that. But then came a gut punch. Poilievre laid out the brutal reality. The first 10 years of Liberal governance robbed young Canadians of homeownership. Like, straight up robbed them. Housing prices skyrocketed. Inflation went wild. And now the new Liberal government is depriving them of jobs too. He cited youth employment numbers, the worst in a generation. Let that sink in. The worst youth unemployment in a generation. Why? According to Poilievre, it's because of high taxes, anti-development laws, and a temporary foreign worker program that's giving jobs to multinational corporations instead of young Canadians. His message was clear. Mr. Carney, our youth have sacrificed enough. All they have done for the past 10 years is sacrifice. And honestly, he's not wrong. This is the first generation in Canadian history that's been priced out of homeownership. Not just it's tough, but legitimately impossible for many. The average home price in Canada? Over $700,000. The average salary for a young person? Let's just say it doesn't math. So why does this all matter? Here's the thing. This isn't just political theater. This is about your life. Whether you're a student, a recent grad, or someone trying to build a future in Canada, these decisions impact you directly. When Carney talks about transforming the economy, that sounds great. But transformation takes time, and young Canadians don't have time. They can't wait another 5 or 10 years for things to get better. They need relief now. Poilievre's criticism, whether you love him or hate him, highlights a real frustration. Young people feel abandoned. They play by the rules, went to school, got degrees, worked hard. And what did they get? Debt, unaffordable housing, and now a job market that's ghosting them harder than a bad first date. And here's the kicker. Both parties are positioning for the next election. Carney wants to show he's a serious leader with a long-term plan. Poilievre wants to position himself as the champion of young Canadians. So the question becomes, who's actually going to do something? Because right now, young Canadians don't need more speeches about sacrifice. They need action. They need housing policy reform. They need job creation. They need a government that actually prioritizes their future instead of asking them to wait patiently while the economy transforms. So what's the takeaway here? Mark Carney says sacrifice and time. Pierre Poilievre says enough is enough. And young Canadians? They're stuck in the middle, wondering when or if things will actually change. The budget is coming next month. That's when we'll see if Carney's transformation includes real relief for young people or if it's just more political buzzwords. And trust me, we'll be here to break it all down for you. So here's my question for you. Do you think young Canadians should sacrifice more? Or is it time for the government to step up? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I want to hear from you. And if you made it this far, you're a legend.